Jai Hind Cadets. In this video, we will be discussing about the topic FCBC, that is Fieldcraft and Battlecraft. It is very important for your B certificate as well as C certificate examinations and also for your practical exams. So, it is very important to have a basic knowledge about FCBC and its advantages and parts. So, let's start with what is Fieldcraft. In simple words, it can be said that it's an art of making the best use of available ground. And while applying fieldcraft, soldiers can attack the enemies in a very smarter way. And moving to the advantages of fieldcraft, it is very useful in tackling minor tactical problems without confusion. But the basic knowledge of field signals and section and platoon formation is essential for that. And next, we can go through the parts of fieldcraft. This includes topics like judging distance, covers, camouflage and concealment, indication and recognition of targets, fire and movement, and the last one is field signals. Now we can go through the first topic, judging distance, in detail. And you have to think why judging distance is very important while firing. As we know, every weapon has a shooting range and impact of its own. Therefore, it is essential to determine the distance between the weapon and its target for appropriate firing. And just think, if your sights are not correctly adjusted on the range, your shots will probably miss out the targets. That's why judging distance is very important in fieldcraft. And there are various methods for judging the distance, and that are unit measurement method, appearance method, bracketing method, section average method, Q range method, and the last one is halving method. The first method of judging distance is unit measurement method. This method is also termed as 100 yards method. That is, the unit of measure chosen is normally 100 yards. And in this method, we take any of the simple and convenient unit and determine the distance between the target and the shooter in the multiples of 100 yards. That is, the distance of the given object will be a multiple of imaginary unit of 100 yards. And in a simple way, we can say that take a familiar unit, that is 100 yards, and estimate the total distance with that. And for example, the length of the hockey field is the best yardstick for this purpose. And one thing should be noted that this method is not accurate above 100 yards and is of little use of dead ground between the observer and the object. The second method of judging distance is appearance method. In this method, the distance can be judged by noting the detailed appearance of a man at various ranges. And this is the best method under service conditions. At a distance of 200 yards, the full man is visible with all his parts. That is, all the parts of the body are distinguished at 200 yards. At 250 yards, a person at a kneeling position is covered by the foresight blade of the rifle. And at 300 yards, the face turns diminished or blur. At 400 yards, the face can't be recognized and the foresight blade of the rifle covers the standing person. And at 500 yards, the body over the shoulder looks comparatively taper. And at 600 yards, the human head appears like a point or a dot, and the body below the shoulder looks taper. The third method is bracketing method. In this method, we take the maximum and minimum estimation of the distance and then take its average. That is, the observer work at the maximum and minimum possible distance of the object and then accept the mean as the distance. For example, the maximum possible distance we take as 1000 yards and the minimum possible distance is 500 yards. Therefore, the estimated range will be the mean, that is 750 yards. The fourth method explained is section average method. In this method, distance is judged by each soldier, and these distances are summed up and then divided by the total number of soldiers to get the average. And this average value is taken as the distance. The fifth method is key range method. In this method, anything whose distance is known is taken for help to determine the distance. like milestones, telephone poles, etc. And if the range of a certain object is known, the distance to the other object can be found in relation to that to know the range. And this method is termed as key range method. And the last method is halving method. In this method, the half distance of an object is guessed and then it is made double to find the desired distance. That is, an object is selected half the way between the observer and the target, and the distance to the selected object is judged and then doubled to get the distance to the target. And this method is termed as halving method.
The first part of Fieldcraft and Battlecraft is concluding. Thank you.